What's up, everybody? Good morning, good early morning on the early side. Not really. Um, I just want to say what's up. It's been a little minute since I made a video, and during these times, man, I just been sitting back watching and listening to everyone talk about our Dallas Cowboys, even 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 the Cowboys major uh, some of their major platforms, along with guys that does videos like us. Um, then I stopped listening, and I just wanted to really point out something uh, about our Dallas Cowboys, in particular, our star quarterback, our boy Dak Prescott. Oh my gosh! One thing I like to get off right now before I get into this whole, you see the topic about Dak Prescott that I'm going to point out. That man, I was in Wisconsin, up there near Green Bay. I wasn't in Green Bay, but I was near it. Okay, and man, in some parts it was -9 degrees where I was near Green Bay. -9 degrees. Only good thing is that there wasn't any wind blowing. So imagine if they had even the slightest wind chill on top of that -9 degrees. I mean, shit. Excuse my language. And it ended up being overall like a -2 throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? And that -2 degrees, and it's also if it's kind of a little bit of sound in the background, that's because I'm driving my rig, and and literally uh, with the engine running on my big rig, it had my engine temperature at zero. Literally, I had to wake up and turn up my RPMs in order to get some heat flowing in the truck. That's how cold it was. And if anybody knew anything about semis, these things will run hot on its own. Like, I don't even have to turn on the heat for the most part uh, to generate heat. Like the engine heat alone can warm up the truck almost. But that's how cold it was. I'm just trying to state the fact. Like, bro, uh, my truck engine is running and it's still cold. It's a little cool in my, it's kind of cool in my truck. Well, my HVAC is blowing out cold air. So yeah, I had to turn the RPMs up, man, to, to get that engine running, to pump some heat, man. It's crazy. But anyway, I digress. That's why I'm just saying I wouldn't want to play up there in that type of weather. That's all I'm saying. But we just might have to. We can get on the run. We can finally get it together. And we can say we can say that out of most teams, Dallas was right there for this past month. Besides the Cardinals game, we had gained momentum, even though we won ugly. and had one splash game against the Washington Redskins. We had the momentum, and then we played the Cardinals, which was similar to me, in my perspective, that it was similar to the Kansas City Chiefs. Cardinals is on a 3-game slide, and we didn't want to awaken the giant, and we allowed them to wake up and get the win. Now and I'm gonna pause right there, and we're gonna talk about that Cardinals game and the reason why I'm making this title. I mean, at this time, talking about this, making this topic right here about Dak Prescott, because we have been seeing it ever since the Denver game. We've been seeing it all season, but in particular the Denver game, the games we lost for the most part, and Dak had a hard time reading the disguised blitz and coverage. And that's why I say Dak is in between a growth spurt. It's because they all know basic coverage, no disguise. If Dak can determine where the blitz is coming, he would air the ball out, particularly cover one. If that's what it is, and doing pre-snap that he reads that, yeah, he's gonna air it out, or he's gonna know where to go with the ball. But as you saw with the Denver Broncos, Justin Simmons, Justin Simmons was your key guy to read in that defense because what's his name, Vangio, and the defensive coordinator moved him around the field. Uh, he faked like he was going to blitz, drops back in coverage. Oh well, just say he dropped down in the box. Then he at the last second he runs back in coverage. He bails, and to disguise it as a cover one, then they drop back into a cover two type scheme. So Dak was forced to move off his main read because of the fact that he thought it was cover one. Now, uh, and who made the plays in that Denver game now, if y'all can remember. Justin Simmons, I think, got an interception, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if you look at the same blueprint that they claimed they had on the Dallas Cowboys, and it kind of stands to be true, is that you have to scheme, you have to reveal your defensive scheme, but right before the snap, so that cannot get a good read, an accurate read on what you're trying to do to the offense. And in the Cardinals game, we all know that Chandler Jones is going to be Chandler Jones. He was not he was not your main focus on that defense because you know what he's going to do. You just make sure that you have him blocked, and you always know where he is on the field, and you make sure you cover that up. The main person that you had to watch were three of them. Of course, Chandler Jones, but the main one was Buda Baker, and then Isaiah Simmons. They was the main three that Dak had to watch on that defensive side of the ball of the Cardinals because they was doing the same thing that the Denver Broncos was doing, is disguising their defensive plan or package right before the snap. They didn't reveal what they was doing until Dak was about to snap the ball. And then Dak was checking out, in and out of plays to match the coverage he thought that he was seeing. And he was guessing wrong. And this is where the growth spurt is at for Dak Prescott in this current stage that he's in, this slump that they claim that he's in. And that needs to, if we're going to go deep into this playoffs, and knowing that the teams that we might face, and we might have to run it back against the Cardinals, and they will be at full strength. They will have James Conner back, potentially D-Hop. Excuse me. D-Hop probably be back. J.J. Watt will probably be back. Offensive lineman that they was missing will probably be back. More than likely. I mean, really. And Dak has to learn this because he is the executioner of the offense. The offense goes as he goes. The offensive line goes as he goes. Because if you call the wrong play against the wrong blitz, you're going to see disruption. You're going to see Dak throwing the ball or forcing the ball before he really wanted to release it because he got to get rid of it. Or you're going to see him run late out of the pocket. Good move, but then Isaiah Simmons, not giving up, made a good play. Knocked the ball out of his hand. Protecting the ball is key, and Dak knows better than that. But I understand he was trying to make a play. I would have rather be able to take that. I would have rather be able to take that sack. And we're not going to talk about penalties and stuff like that. There's no need because we had plenty of opportunity to take the lead. If Kellen Moore, if Mike McCarthy, and these guys on the offensive side was putting together an offensive game plan, adjusting the game plan to help Dak Prescott out and to figure out how to beat the disguised coverage. And one thing in my mind is that what they could have done is use the audible, since Dak was checking in and out of plays, trying to get the team in the right play, and was kind of not getting them in the right play. Was use that to fake the team out, and for Dak them to use up the clock since they was down. Dak was wasting a lot of time checking in and out of plays. You gave up on the running game. So what? We got a few penalties that was called back after we had a good run. Keep running the ball. Or you adjust your run game planning and scheme against what they're doing. When they was bringing, more than five, they bring it five or more on a blitz, run blitz to stop the run. You got you got you got you got counters. Run opposite of where the blitz is coming from. You know what I'm saying? You're strong. You run opposite of the strong side or whatnot. Or you can run dive, delay to like a delayed dive up the middle. Those are also those are also run plays that counters a defensive team aggression. We tried to do the screens. They knew the screens. They knew exactly what to look for. Buda Baker was on his line of scrimmage, was just down in the box. He was reading the plays. He was in the box, and then he would bail to, instead of it looking like a cover one, it would be a cover two. Troy Aikman was pointing that out. So they did nothing to take advantage, one, of the scheme, two, inexperienced cornerbacks. And then Dak was so pressed at the same time, he was missing why Amari Cooper was open a couple times, not just that missed pass on that shallow cross that he overthrew. There was guys open. And Dak has to slow himself down. He got to let the game come to him, in a sense. So it's not all on the OC and Mike McCarthy. Dak just got to trust what he's seeing, or trust what he know, or what they're telling him. Like, hey, just understand when you're checking out of these plays, you don't have to check out of them. You can just act like you're checking out of them. Or if you do check out of them, or check from a pass to a run, or run to a pass, there's going to be guys open, because they was bringing it. As when the game was close, when they started catching up, they was really bringing it. They was really bringing the pressure. But in the fourth quarter, they started faking the pressure and then started dropping more into coverage. Instead of getting 8 in the box or 8-man pressure or whatnot, you started getting 8-man coverage. You got to go back and watch the game and see that. To be honest with you. So this is where we are with our quarterback. Our quarterback is stuck in a growth spurt, and they need to help him out. My advice to you, my brother, is to slow down, trust what you're seeing. This is off topic right here. This is something I definitely want to see, and I said this in a previous video, and I wanted to bring it up, but I wanted to take a snapshot of that and post it. It was, but the title wasn't. But I thought anyway. That's neither here nor there. What I'm talking about. But let's get this out. I want to see Amari Cooper in the slots, start shuffling these guys around and take advantage, so he can take advantage of their weaknesses in the offense. If not, you're looking just like Jason Garrett, keeping these guys in the same position all game, all season long. There's no rotation. There was supposed to be a death by 1,000 cuts. I haven't seen it yet. because we won ugly against some. I don't want to say sorry teams, but some teams that we supposed to take advantage of, and we won. By letting them back in the game or whatnot. So that's my gripe with Kellen Moore because he's been figured out. And if y'all can't help Dak figure it out because you can't figure it out, then I have someone in mind. But I will wait till the off season to talk about that. I want to see where this is going to go. To be honest with you. That's just the way it is. So now that I got that out there, and I hope Kellen Moore hears this, and I might have to be a little bit more drastic about switching Amari Cooper and Lamb, all of them around, playing musical chairs, taking advantage, creating mismatches, because I see that. I see a lot of teams doing that with their star wide receiver, their number one wide receiver. Is that the number one wide receiver plays X, Y, and Z. So now let's recap so I can go ahead and end this video right now. Dak is stuck in between a growth spurt when he's at the next level of where teams have to scheme or have to disguise their blitz packages and coverages in order to get Dak out of rhythm, in order to get the offensive side of the ball out of rhythm, out of sync by harrying, by making him throw the ball earlier than he wants to, and they need to shorten his drops, 3 steps down back to 3 step drops instead of 5. That's just ridiculous. These plays are taking too damn long, but then they're figuring out that, oh my gosh, see, I don't went on into something else, man, because of the fact that I didn't cover this. It's the fact that they know the offense. They know that these guys are gonna do a curl. They 7 out, 7 in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Uh, but I just wanted to throw that in there too. But yeah, but he's having trouble reading the disguise coverage in blitz packages, and they need to help him out with that. And Dak needs to help himself by trusting what he's seeing or just sticking to the script because the rhythm and pace that they're moving it's not going to end well for us guys. That's the honest truth. And no matter how well the defense played, because the defense played well in that Cardinals game. It was so many times that the defense can go right out there after getting the ball back or just getting the Cardinals off the field, and then they quick 3 and outs. The offense had ample opportunity to put more points up on the board and take the lead, and we was right there. We was right there, and we lost by a field goal from, and the irony in that. So that's not my focus. It's not my topic. Not the topic. I just want to talk about our quarterback. So that's pretty much it, guys. Can't wait till the game later today. See how we play against Philly. I think that we should play, but some guys are out with illness, COVID, being rested or whatnot. So It's going to be it's going to be very interesting how this game is going to unfold because Philly has everything to play for. But this is Tone Center Sports Channel, guys. And Fallon, peace. I'm out.